Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Affordable Flyers, AirVenture Fun Fly Zone celebrates Ultralights, LSA, and Rotorcraft. Deadline for vans replacements passing by. 4 major ABEX milestones to be celebrated at Oshkosh. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to Airborne Affordable Flyers, our programming designed to help you get and stay in aviation as affordably as possible. Overseen by the editorial staff of the award-winning SportPlane Resource Guide, we know well the challenges faced by today's sport flyers, and we're here to help you enjoy flying to the utmost. And with only a few weeks to go, we have a lot of Oshkosh news to share. Let's get into today's stories. AirVenture Fun Fly Zone celebrates Ultralights, LSA, and Rotorcraft. Oshkosh 2024 attendees can experience one of the more accessible sides of aviation by visiting the Fun Fly Zone, located south of the Vintage area along Whitman Road, one of our favorite places all the way back to the time when it was still Ollie's Place. The area is home to ultralight vehicles, LSAs, rotorcraft, and hot air balloons, 60 commercial exhibitors, and a 900-foot grass runway adjacent to the ultralight barn. The Ultralights pattern has been updated for 2024. Pilots flying in this area must obtain and possess a copy of the current FAA notice and follow the procedures. Daily grass runway operations during AirVenture run from 0700 to 2000, with a break from 14:30 to 18:30 for the afternoon air show. The flight schedule is divided into time periods to allow similar aircraft in the pattern at the same time. A mass hot air balloon launch is also scheduled for 0600 on Saturday, July 27th. Twilight Flight Fest begins at 8 p.m. at the Fun Fly Zone on July 22nd, 23rd, 25th, and 26th, offering demonstrations of a variety of aircraft, including powered paramotors, STOL airplanes, RC aircraft, and skydivers. 2 ultralights are celebrating anniversaries this year, the Titan Tornado's 30th and the Minimax's 40th. After the break, Oshkosh early bird warning, political convention TFR shenanigans abound.
There's a lot of places I get to at the end of the runway or in turnarounds that I need an engine running. So for me, it's very important to have a product that I'm absolutely confident with. I am very confident with the Trailblazer propeller. And when I'm flying air shows, I know that propeller's going to be right for me.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Oshkosh early bird warning, political convention TFR shenanigans abound. The Republican National Convention being held in downtown Milwaukee on July 15th through 18th will greatly affect air operations over and around the Milwaukee area on those dates and could impact flight planning for pilots coming to Oshkosh early for AirVenture, which begins just a few days later, July 22nd. While the FAA will release the full TFR for July 15th through 18th approximately 7 days prior to its implementation, the agency has shared a draft of it with EAA. The FAA has also posted a flight advisory at FAAsafety.gov. Red Bull Flugtag lands in Tampa. The Red Bull Flugtag will be returning for the first time since 2011 to the Tampa Convention Center in Tampa, Florida. It will be held on Saturday, November 9th, 2024, outside the Convention Center on the specially built platform over the Convention Center Marina. All the teams get together in a place where they see which team's flying machine goes the furthest or looks the funniest or most ridiculous as they soar off a platform high above the water. Members of Lakeland Aero Club to compete in Junior Gliding Championships. 5 members of the Lakeland Aero Club will travel to Oshkosh, Poland to compete in the Junior World Gliding Championships. The event is sanctioned by the Federation Aeronautique Internationale World Air Sports Federation and will be held from July 13th through 27th. The team's glider pilot will be Stephen Tellman, and his support crew will consist of Quest Hips, Dallas Hurd, Kenneth Turbeville, and Matthew Turbeville. Tellman is the youngest glider pilot in the history of American competitors, and to qualify, he was required to compete in regional contests and earn badges. Vertical Flight Society's 18th Annual Electric Aircraft Symposium leads into AirVenture. The Vertical Flight Society is on track for the biggest electric aircraft development conference yet, with more than 40 speakers set to present at the 18th Annual Electric Aircraft Symposium. It will once again be held in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, with support for remote attendance for those who can't make the trip. This year will see the EAS held in the weekend immediately preceding AirVenture 2024. Where much of the industry holds symposiums with an array of human factors, safety, and maintenance themes, the Vertical Flight Society always seems to have the most stridently technical speakers with the resumes to back it up. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Deadline for Van's replacements passing by. Van's Aircraft published a video that accompanied an email to customers earlier this month, explaining the upcoming deadlines for those with outstanding orders and issues in order to get things back to normal. The firm has been going through its Chapter 11 process pretty smoothly, all things considered, laying out a plan of attack and making right on problematic parts while filling orders that have piled up since the pandemic builder's boom. Now the company wants those who had the laser cut parts delivered inside their delivered Van's aircraft kit check whether or not they need to take action. Affected laser cut parts were generally delivered in shipments from 2022 to the first half of 2023. Such parts replaced previously punched holes and elements with a more modern and efficient laser cut version of the same. Vans has a classification list of such parts, where each is classified as either replacement recommended or acceptable for use. The deadline for buyers of standard Vans kits to either turn down parts replacement or to accept the revised parts package was June 30th, but for the quick build players, the deadline for parts replacement orders is still August 31st of this year. Miss the deadline this time around and the cheap route will be closed off for good, so take advantage of the program while you can. After these messages, 4 major ABEX milestones to be celebrated at Oshkosh 2024.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
Welcome back. 4 major ABEX milestones to be celebrated at Oshkosh 2024. AirVenture 2024 will be recognizing 4 home-built aircraft anniversaries at this year's show, including the RLU-1 Breezy, Zenith 600, 601, Swearingen SX300, and Kit Fox. The RLU-1 Breezy had its first flight in 1964, a completely open cockpit pusher aircraft designed and built by Charles Roloff, Robert Lepowski, and Carl Unger. For decades at AirVenture, Carl Unger could be seen hopping rides in his Breezy wearing his trademark red vest. The prototype Breezy is on display in the EAA Aviation Museum. The Zenith 600, 601 had its first flight in 1984, an all-metal 2-seat aircraft designed by Chris Heinz. The Swearingen SX300 also had its first flight in 1984, designed by Ed Swearingen, and features a 2-seat cockpit and a 300-horsepower 6-cylinder engine. Kit Fox's first flight was in 1984, designed by Dan Denny, featuring a small side-by-side 2-seat high-wing configuration. More than 4,500 kits have been delivered worldwide. Pilots who plan to fly these anniversary home-builts into AirVenture can pre-register their aircraft online. They will be parked in the same areas. In addition to these aircraft, EAA's Flight Advisors program is celebrating its 30th birthday this year. The volunteer program helps pilots preparing for a first flight in a home-built aircraft to conduct it safely. Flight advisors are EAA volunteers dedicated to improving home-built aircraft safety. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.